Welcome back to the Philippines, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to come hang out with me. If you're new to my channel, thank you for visiting, man. I hope you get something out of today's video. If you're a returning subscriber, you've been here before, hey, what's going on, bro? I hope everything's going good in your life. Today, of course, I'm riding around getting myself lost, trying to see what I can get myself into, and I decided to take you guys with me so I can talk about today's topic, which is expats building on family land in the Philippines. Now, this topic was originally given to me by one of my subscribers, and I do want to give you a big shout out, bro. I appreciate the topic. It's an excellent topic, to be real with you. And, I decided it's time for me to go ahead and cover this thing. So shout out to you, big dog. Now, this topic does have a lot of potential outcomes. You got your good and you got your bad. So today I kind of want to give you guys and gals a breakdown of what to expect should you decide to build a home or a business on property that's owned by your spouse's loved ones here in the Philippines. Now, I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but I'm going to try to cover the basics. So if I do miss something, hey, do me a favor and let me know in the comment section what I did miss. And, others can take your advice as well. All the information that I'm going to be giving you today is 100% opinionated. So, take the good and leave out the bad, whatever makes your life better, all right? I do want you to understand something, though. There are limits to the good sides of the situation that I'm going to be talking about. It does pose challenges that you're going to have to overcome, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into this thing, bro. Now, I'm going to start off with the good sides of this situation. And again, there are limitations to it, okay? And the first one that I want to talk about is saving money on the initial cost of building a house here. All right. Living on your wife's or husband's family land will save you a lot of money in the long run when you say, you want to build a house here in the Philippines. Now, we all know that the Philippines cost of living is really not that high compared to the rest of the world. And, but building on land that is already owned will reduce your initial costs when you're building here. Okay? And that could be a good thing for you, especially if you and your wife and, her family members, you guys are all on a good page. You guys have a good relationship and everything is all good and you don't see it going down south anytime soon. You've been married for 20 plus years and all that good stuff or whatever. This may be a route for you, all right? There are bad sides to this, and I'm going to cover that later on in this video. But yeah, that's one of the ones, man. You can save a lot of money doing that. Pretty much building on land that's already owned by your significant other, okay? Now, the next one that's on my list is it builds closer family ties. It really can build closer family ties. I'm not sure if it does or don't, but it could do that for you. And, moving on your significant other's family land and building on that land could strengthen family bonds, all right? It shows your spouse that her family is important to you. And, it could be a benefit for you, especially in your relationship in the future, all right? Or right then and there, it'll help you out, you know what I mean? It also allows expats to become integrated into the family by building relationships with the in-laws and other family members, of course. It does create a sense of belonging, and they treat you a lot better when you're doing for the family. So, that could be a good thing for you. I'm not going to say it's going to stay that way, but it could be a good thing for you, all right? Now, the other one that I want to talk about is the support element, all right? Building on your spouse's family land while things are good in your relationship, it'll make you feel like, you get a lot of support from the family, especially from family members that, they know what you're doing for the family. It builds a strong bond for the moment. All right. Here in the Philippines, it's natural for you as an expat to automatically be seen as the breadwinner. All right. And when you build on land that's owned by her family, it shows that you're in full support of improving the family. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash on this one right here, but hear me out. This is just the good things that I could come up with and try to sweeten it up a little bit for you, all right? I'm going to cover the other stuff in a minute, all right? And the last one that I want to talk about is land ownership and investments. Now, the land that you're building on, they potentially could transfer that to your wife, who could potentially transfer that to your children, should you have children by your Filipino wife or whatever. It's a good thing. That's a good thing if that's the agreement. I live here in the Philippines. If I was able to get some land to just transfer it to my children, because they're dual citizens or whatever, hey man, that's beautiful, man. I would love to do that. All right. But, that's something that you got to take into consideration here. All right. It could be a good thing. It could be a good long-term investment for your family, And then in the end, if your wife's family is trustworthy, then, you probably could earn a little bit on the side if they start renting the property out and, the property value increases and all the other good stuff happens and stuff, but again, all this stuff is just in the air, and this is just something that I thought, it could benefit you, all right? Me personally, if it's not going to my kids, I ain't doing it, all right? And with that out of the way, I'm going to jump over into the bad side, all right? This is the side that most people want to hear anyway, all right? And the first one on my list is being used, all right? I hear a lot of expats talk about the property that they own in the Philippines and how much money they put into their lifestyle. The reality is that, when you build on land that you don't own rights to, everyone involved could be kind based on the fact that you are improving for them and you're just a financer. They put a smile on their face for for the reasons of you're spending all your money. All right. For some reason, and this is just me though, this is an opinion, all right, but for some reason, I've noticed that a beautiful smile and a kind compliment always gets people to spend big money out here. So be careful when you're thinking about building on land that will eventually be returned to the local who owns it. You don't own anything. And if it's not going to your wife and it's not going to the children from your wife, it's not worth it, bro. Now, the next one on my list is family conflicts, all right? Living on your wife or your husband's family land, it can occasionally lead to tensions within the relatives, all right? There may be disagreements about land use, property rights, expectations for how the land should be maintained and developed. This can create an uncomfortable living situation. And, more often than not, your spouse probably going to take the side of her family, and you'll be pretty much in bad juju. You lost everything in the end. Everything is good when everything is good, but when it goes bad, man, it goes bad. And if you put all that money into it, yeah, you already know the outcome, all right? So let's go ahead and jump into the next one, which is limited privacy. When living on land owned by your significant other's parents or relatives or whatever, you may face a lack of privacy. Family members might frequently visit your house. They might live nearby, which could be overwhelming, especially for someone who's accustomed to living on having their independence or a little bit of solitude. They may feel that they have a right to be there because they own it. They own the land. And you don't have a right to say anything. I'll let you guys elaborate on this one, but trust me, the outcome, it will not be in your favor when things go bad. It's just one of those things, man. I really don't know how to put that, man. The next one that's on my list is financial dependency. Building on family land could result in the family moving in on you 100%. And at that rate, you'll be the sole provider for the majority of the expenses. And, you'll be surprised how fast bills can accumulate while you're here. You need to be careful, all right? Because so many expats get sold on the idea that the Philippines is dirt cheap. That's not true, bruh. I'm just going to be real, man. You can't just afford everything. You have a hard time taking care of your own family, your wife and your kids and stuff. And when the family moves in on you, and you done moved in on their land, you put yourself in a bad situation. I'm just going to keep it 1,000 with you, all right? And this is just my opinion, man. Some people, they have situations where, everything is good and nothing's gone bad. And if that's your situation, hey, man, I commend you, man. Do your thing, bro. But for the most part, man, I kind of see this as, it could lead to financial dependency. And that takes me to the last one, legal issues and property issues, all right? Navigating through property laws here in the Philippines is very complex. Issues with land ownership, inheritance rights, misunderstanding, and family agreements, family disagreements, these things can arise, man, especially, within your wife and her family. And again, 9 times out of 10, she's going to take the side of the family. These legal complications are hard to resolve, man, especially if the expat is not well versed in local laws here in the Philippines. I know before people were saying that you can get a 25-year lease. I've mentioned it before here, on the land, and you can build on it and then, transfer everything to your wife. But even then, you still got to play tit for tat. I don't know how that really works, man. Somebody can enlighten me in the comment section, all right? But you also got to remember, you can't forget the dangers of what could happen if you get into an altercation behind the land that you built on. I've seen expats get hurt real bad, and I've heard of expats losing their life behind stuff like that. So, I recommend that you get a full understanding of what you're getting into when you decide to get into it out here in the Philippines dealing with land, all right? Well, that's all that I got for you guys on this episode, man. Hey, do me a favor, man. As always, love yourself, man. When I say that, man, I truly mean that from the bottom of your heart. Don't let nobody piss you off and ruffle your feathers to a point where you can't be yourself. You know, because when they done making you mad, they not thinking about you. All right, well, you the one mad, so don't even do that to yourself, man. Love yourself, man. All right. Again, that's all that I got for you guys, man. Holla at your boy. Until next time, bro. Peace out.